What's up guys, Xilo back with more Unison League, and I'm going to be showing you how to optimize your character. So the first thing you have to know is to not rush your gear. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by do not rush your gear is do not rush augment and spend your gems on augment all at once just so you can get a rank or two higher on the leaderboard. Now you may be asking, well, what do you mean? Like, I do that on a daily basis. Like, I did that once. What I mean by that is, if you're a cleric and you get your sword and you want to augment the crap out of that sword to get higher gear score and higher ranking on the board, or just higher gear score to be more, I guess, quote-unquote qualified for doing higher level things, that will not do anything for you when you go into those. So you not benefit at all off of that. You just have wasted gold, gems, and material, and time, which you cannot get back. So, alright, off of that, first class I'm going to be talking about is the soldier. So, first thing you're going to want to know about is the gear you should build on it. So the gear you want to build is a lot of defense, specifically in the helmets and armor. Because as you see, the class has these traits here, class traits that give it defense up by 3% and helm gear by 3%. So helm and armor gear are up in defense stats. So as you level up the soldier, once you get to paladin, they'll go up to 8% each, and then you have a shared trait which goes to every class you own is increased defense by 5%. And as you go on, you also get the other two tiers of class traits. But, that's the biggest one is 5%, which is quite a bit if you have a lot of armor, especially on soldier. But do not forget to get quite a bit of magic resist, because you do have a health skill that gives you a ton of health. But if you do not have magic resist, and you're against, let's just say, a mage, and the mage just dumpsters you, that's why, because you do not have any resistance against it. That actually happened yesterday to someone. But yeah, so the skills you want to get on this gear, if you can, are physical damage down, which reduces the damage you take, physical damage. Magic damage down, which reduces the magic damage you take. Physical and magic reflection. What these two do are they make you take reduced damage from both physical and magic damage and reflect those damages back to the target. Those are each a separate skill. Physical damage up, which increases your physical damage on your abilities. And Heart of the Blade. Now, this skill increases the effect of your Sword Clash, Brave Clash, and Deadly Clash. So yeah, if you can stack those, it'll really benefit you once you start just going for straight, just to mow through things. So, now for weapons, you're just going to want to put a sword or axe in the main slot, and preferably physical damage weapons in sub slots. Lances, swords, but preferably get the skills. Do not get a lance that increases a lancer's ability, but if you do have it, use it if you have nothing else, but preferably use sub weapons that benefit your class also in the skill department. And then going into pets, you'll want to stack water pets. Now, water pets give you a lot of defense. I mean, like a ton of defense, which you want, and also magic defense. So yeah, commonly those have a ton of those stats, so you'd want to stack them if you do have them. So yeah, those are my tips on soldier. Next up, I'll be talking about Mage, my favorite class in the game as of right now. So let's go to her skill tree here. Alright, so as Mage, the Mage's class, I keep calling them him or her, but it's whatever. Mage's whole deal is to nuke and dumpster your enemy. Mage's skills all focus on massive damage. They have a lot of AoE nukes or single target nukes, which I'll be getting into later on. For Mage, you'll want to stack a lot of magic attack, charms, and staffs. Why? Because the mages have a passive in which increases their magic attacks of these two. So as you see here, increases magic attack of staff and charm gear by 2%, and the shared trait increases magic attack by 2%. So these increase the whole way up to increase magic attack of staff and charm gear by 5%, and which I don't have yet, the shared trait of increasing magic attack by 5%. So, yeah, as you can see, she focuses only on magic damage. There's no such thing as physical damage with Mage's kit here, with the spells. Alright, so going off the spells, you'd want to get gear with the following skills. Magic Testament to increase all of that magic damage you do. Physical damage down, magical damage down, just to make you live a bit longer in the fight, because you want to stay there quite a bit of time and just do as much damage as you can. Magic Reflection to reflect some of that damage back to the enemy, and Heart of the Meteor. Now, Heart of the Meteor is found on the staff Rod of Lux. So as you see, chance to massively increase the effective mage ability Meteor Strike. Meteor Strike is Mage's main nuke tool for a single target. It deals up to 612, 360% magic damage, which is a ton, and this increases it. So if you guys have that, use it. If you don't, just stack a bunch of Magic Testaments. For weapons, just put a staff or a charm in your main slot, and the rest of them can be the same thing. Staffs or charms, whatever. Whatever has the Magic Testament, that's great. Just use it. No need for anything else. That's all you need. Now for pets, what you'll want to do is stack what I like to do, dark and light, because they give you a lot of magic attack and magic defense, which is really awesome. But a few of them give you some other different defense stat, but I've seen the majority of them give a lot of magic attack. So, yeah. If you guys can, stack these, preferably the ones with a lot of magic attack. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for Mage. Next on the list is Archer, a very balanced class. The Archer's main goal is to deal mixed damage to your target, sustain the Archer's health through the battle and whine out your own teammates, and also remove buffs from the enemies. For the Archer, you'll want to stack magic attack and physical attack, preferably evenly. I've seen a lot of people lean more so one way than the other, so me, I'm focusing on magic attack more than physical attack, because for me, that's the items I have. That's the best thing I can do. But the best thing to do, if you have the bows or the balance stats, is to use bows to balance out your stats. And you'll also want to build magic defense. Why? Because the ranger, if we go here to their skill tree, or their skill circles, I guess they're called, is that the archers have a passive that increases their magic defense of clothing and helmet gear. So as you see here, you have increased magic defense of clothing by 3% and hat gear by 3%. So it's basically the soldier's defense, but for magic defense. And yeah, it goes through the same, the shared trait. It goes up each time, and the end one's 5%. And the end ones here are magic defense of hat gear by 8% and magic defense of clothing gear by 8%. So that's why you want to, preferably, have quite a bit of magic defense, because these bonuses will pump them up a bit. Alright, so next is the gear. So the gear you'll want to get is with the following skills. Fatal Testament, which increases physical and magic damage when using an ability. So let's say you use Circle Snipe, and that Fatal Testament activated, and your Circle Snipe will do more damage because it's increasing the physical and magic damage, since Circle Snipe does both of those. Heart of the Deadeye, which will increase the effect of Circle Snipe, High Circle Snipe, and Lethal Strikes. Physical damage down, which will just make you a bit more tankier when taking physical damage, and magic damage down, as I've covered earlier. Just take a bit less magic damage. Now, monsters, anything that will give you good mix of stats towards whatever playstyle you're building. So what I mean by that is if the best you could do is, you have a bunch of magic attack and you have very little physical attack compared to that, you'd want to build, however way your stats are. So, if you have more magic attack, go towards, like dark or light, whatever gives you more damage on those monsters when you use them. So yeah, it's all up to your build basically of whatever you want to run. You know, if you want to be tankier, if you want to do more damage, damage per second, I don't know, it's your choice. You can choose what you need for those. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Archer. Next up is Cleric, the one who actually keeps you alive and not gemming to revive. Yes, Cleric's main goal is to keep your team alive and running efficiently, obviously, with its debuff removal skills and status ailment removal skills. Now, for Cleric, you want to focus on your physical defense and magical defense, mainly, along with your magic attack. Now, what you have to understand is magic attack is it's not that it's not important, it's just not, you don't need much of it to heal their entire health bar. Because your goal as a cleric is to keep yourself alive and everybody else around you and your team alive. So, yeah. So, now, clerics don't increase any stats as you have based on your gear, but let me show you here what it actually does. Now, even though it may not raise any stats, or things like that, it actually gives you something called debuff resistance. So what this does is it decreases your chance, or should I say, it makes your cleric less susceptible to becoming debuffed by the enemy. So as you see, as you start going along, increases debuff resistance by 4% and then by 2%, and these level up, the shared trait, 3%, and then the next one, 5%. So these all stack very much. They all stack and make a big difference. Alright, so next up is going to be the gear you should use. Any gear with Heart of Health, because that'll increase the healing some of your heals do, which is a reason why you don't need a lot of magic attack, because some of your book skills will actually increase your healing power. So you don't necessarily need all of that, magic attack to supplement that. Physical damage down, just to keep you alive more, reducing the physical damage, as I mentioned earlier. Along with magic damage down, you could throw in, magic reflection, physical reflection, if you have those. Those are nice as well. Now, for your weapons, you'll want to try to place a book or relic in your main slot, because as you see here, this actually goes along with every class. I forgot to mention this, I think, for a couple of them. Based on your main weapon, it will increase some of your abilities power. So as you see for Cleric, increases ability power of Area Heal, Greater Healing, and Area Cure by 10 when a book or relic is equipped in your main weapon slot. So yes, that's very good to know. And for your sub slots, just try to, get some magic attack while also getting, that's pretty much it for weapons. All you could get is a magic attack and physical attack, so don't get any physical, nope. Get the magic attack. Alright, and for monsters, you'll preferably want a monster that can raise your team's stats and heal them. Or if they can't do both one or the other, it's fine too. Such as Valkyrie, which gives you stats and buffs your stats, and heals you, or debuff the enemies, such as Lilith, which debuffs them and does damage and all that nice stuff. And Ice Dragon also works wonders in the survival department with its high defensive stats. As I said before, you want to also focus on your defense as a cleric to keep yourself alive, and in turn of keeping yourself alive, you can in turn keep everybody else alive. So I hope that made sense to you guys. And that's pretty much it for Cleric. Alright guys, finally the last class I'm going to talk about is the Lancer. The Lancer's main goal is to eliminate a single target incredibly fast with incredible strength. So they focus on physical attack and have skills which deal a ton of damage, as I said, and possibly can paralyze your target. You'll want to be focusing on physical attack for the Lancer, but remember to not skimp out on your defenses, because you cannot kill. If you're dead, you can revive and kill, but who wants to spend a gem to do that when you could build defense and live? So yeah. Now, why you want to focus on physical attack, other than every skill that the class has is physical attack, pretty much. is that these passives here increase attack of Lance and Scythe Gear by 2%, and those pretty much give all physical attack. The majority is physical attack, and you could see the shared trait increases attack by 3%, increases attack by 5%. And also another reason why I should run the Scythe and Lance is because some of the skills are actually increased in their damage by using these in your main weapon slot. As you can see, it increases ability power for these skills by 10 when Lance or Scythe is equipped in your main weapon slot. Yeah, so and then the last one, increases attack of Lance and Scythe Gear by 5%, and then increases attack by 5%. Now, next, what kind of gear you'll want with the skills is, the skills you'll want are Fatal Testament to increase your physical damage of your skills if it activates. Heart of Puncture, which if it activates will increase the effect of Thrust, Sharp Thrust, and Dragon Thrust. Wow, that was a tongue slip. Heart of Rage to increase effective Rush and Enraged Rush if it activates. Physical damage and magic damage down just to live longer. As I said before, you want to have defense. And for monsters, go with anything that gives you attack. Anything that does physical attack and gives some sort of defense stat to you. That's basically common sense there. Anything that gives you stats to your main and something to make you live. So yeah, that's basically it for the Lancer, I think, that I could sum up really quick for you guys. In a nutshell, that's Lancer. So that's pretty much it for this guide, guys. Hopefully it's not too long. I tried to make it as condensed as possible, yet make it quite informative for the new players, or maybe, if you wanted or needed some advice and are just looking for a video for it, maybe it'll help you too. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this and learned something new. Remember, if you liked it, to like and subscribe. Thanks. See ya.